When you're hunting for a home espresso machine, the first thing you notice is how many cheap-look one-button models flood the market. I've tried a few of those budget options, and most of them end up tasting like burnt coffee grounds or, worse, break down after a few weeks of daily use. So the question that keeps popping up in the comments is, does spending a little more on a reputable brand actually save you the headache? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I was skeptical at first, too. The KitchenAid fully automatic espresso machine KF8 looks sleek in its cast-iron black finish, but the price tag puts it in a different league from the $150 countertop espresso makers that promise cafe-quality drinks with a single press. My hesitation wasn't about the price alone, it was about the hidden trade-offs you often discover after the unboxing maintenance routines, milk frothing consistency, and whether the machine can handle a variety of beans without grinding them into a mess. After setting this thing up in my own kitchen, I can tell you where the value really lies. The first thing you notice is the removable bean hopper. You twist it off, dump out any stale beans, and slide it back on. That simple action feels like a small win compared to machines where the hopper is welded to the chassis and you end up shaking the whole unit to get rid of old beans. It also means you can switch between a dark roast for a straight shot and a lighter bean for a milder latte without a full cleaning cycle in between. The Clean Me indicator light is another practical touch. It glows when the internal brew group needs a quick rinse, so you're not left guessing whether the machine is overdue for a decal. The real test, though, is the milk system. KitchenAid includes a dedicated milk container that works with both whole dairy and plant-based alternatives. I tried oat milk, almond milk, and regular whole milk side by side. With oat milk, the froth came out silky, holding its shape for a few seconds before gently settling, perfect for a latte art beginner. With almond milk, the foam was a little thinner but still usable for a cappuccino. Whole milk gave the richest, creamier head I've seen in a home unit. The key here is that the machine doesn't force you into one type of milk. You can experiment without buying a separate frother. That flexibility is a big plus for anyone who's trying to reduce dairy or just likes to switch flavors. Now, let's talk about the 40+ drink recipes. The touchscreen panel lets you select everything from a classic espresso to a macchiato with caramel drizzle. You can save your own custom settings, too. The learning curve is minimal. Press espresso, hold for a second, and the machine adjusts grind size, temperature, and pressure automatically. For a busy professional who can't spend 10 minutes fiddling with dial-in settings, this convenience feels like a real time saver. However, the trade-off is that you're locked into the preset parameters unless you dive into the advanced menu, which isn't as intuitive as a full-range manual grinder. Who should consider buying this KitchenAid? If you're a coffee enthusiast who enjoys experimenting with beans, milk types, and flavor profiles, but you don't want to become a barista-level technician, this machine hits a sweet spot. It's also a solid fit for families with mixed preferences. Your teenager can tap latte while you pull a straight shot for yourself, all without changing any hardware. The machine's metal-clad construction adds a premium look that blends into a modern kitchen, and because it's built to last, you're less likely to replace it in a couple of years, which spreads the cost over a longer period. On the flip side, skip this if you're hunting for a truly minimalist setup. The machine's footprint is larger than the entry-level models, and you'll need a dedicated spot on your countertop. It also demands regular cleaning. The Clean Me light will flash at least once a week if you're brewing multiple drinks daily. If you're the type who forgets to decal and ends up with mineral buildup, you might find the maintenance routine a bit more demanding than a simple pod-based system. Additionally, while the milk frother works well with most plant milks, it can struggle with very low-fat alternatives, producing foam that dissipates quickly. If you only ever use skim milk, you might be better off with a dedicated frother that's optimized for that consistency. One practical scenario that stood out for me was Sunday brunches with friends. I set the machine to brew a batch of espresso shots, then switched to the milk container and let it steam enough for 3 cappuccinos in a row. The turnaround was under 2 minutes, and each cup had a consistent foam layer. Because the bean hopper is removable, I could quickly swap from a medium roast to a single origin bean for a tasting session without interrupting the flow. That kind of seamless transition is something the cheaper single-button machines can't promise. They usually require a full purge and reset between different